Who's the X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs?
So I wrote down 2 names. I know I'm corny for writing down 2 names, but I wrote down Drew Tranquill and Nick Bolton. I think they're gonna have their hands full, man. You have to cover a guy like George Kittle, but you also have to be able to stop the run and Christian McCaffrey and that offensive line. I think, you're gonna have to win one of those matchups. You're gonna have to be able to stop the run, or you're gonna have to be able to make an impact in the passing game, and they're gonna have their hands full. So I wrote down both those guys.
My X factor for the Kansas City Chiefs is pretty simple, and I think I had him as the X factor in last year's Super Bowl as well. It's Isaiah Pacheco. The San Francisco 49ers are just not great at stopping the run. And this is the opportunity for Isaiah Pacheco to go crazy and potentially win a Super Bowl MVP, going for 100+ in this game and a couple touchdowns. I think Kansas City's going to have to stick with the ground game. We saw what Detroit did to the Niners in the first half last week alone. Who's to say that Isaiah Pacheco can't do the same?
I like Obi's answer. I like the linebackers. Not gonna lie.
They're super important.
I know, because I totally
the Niners,
agree.
Your linebackers have to show
Exactly,
up.
I totally agree. Yeah,
We saw Detroit's linebackers get fucking torched last week.
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of Chris. Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill. Like when you think of the 49ers, you think of plays made after the catch. So you're not going to neutralize this offense altogether, or at least it's going to be very, very hard to do. So you have to at least try to contain it, and the linebackers in the middle of the field are the best way to do that.
Yeah, I think another big one, bolt the tackles. Can you hold up in a game where you're facing an elite pass rush, and especially Nick Bosa? Bolt the tackles. I think that's huge. So Donovan Smith and Juwan Taylor, it's put up or shut up time. All right. Who was your X factor for the San Francisco 49ers?
So I went with their center, Mr. Jake Brendel. Listen, man. You're going to see Chris Jones. And obviously, he's not going to be going up against Chris Jones one-on-one most of the time. They're going to throw 2 bodies at Chris Jones. But you're going to have to hold your own as much as you possibly can. And this is a guy who struggled in pass blocking this year. I have it in front of me, a 43.7 pass blocking grade according to PFF. He's going to have to hold up his end of the bargain, or this could get really ugly. And Chris Jones could end up winning a Super Bowl MVP. That's how ugly it could get.
Yeah.
Yes. The Niners have a very weak interior of the offensive line. So
yeah, I guess I'll say the entirety of the interior of the offensive line, but
highlighted
specifically it's highlighted
your
by
plan
Jake
for
Brendel.
Chris Jones. Yeah. Just the plan for Chris Jones.
We saw the Lions, man. They had a field day in that first half,
Yep.
getting in interior pressure. So.
I agree. All right, so for me, just like I said, the plan for Chris Jones, your plan for Travis Kelce. What are you going to do to stop Travis Kelce? I don't know if it's double team. I don't know if it's going to be bracket coverage. I don't know if you take your best corner in Charvarius Ward and stick him on Travis Kelce and have him shadow him all around. I don't think that's what they're going to end up doing. But I think they'll be throwing a bunch of different looks at Kelce, so I can't really name one specific player that I think is the X factor. I just think your plan as a whole for Travis Kelce and how you're going to handle him is going to dictate this entire game.
Might be a bit of an obvious pick, but I'm going to go with Brock Purdy, man. These 2 playoff games, they've had slow starts, and him in particular, he's gotten off to a slow start, and I just don't think you're going to get away with that against the Kansas City Chiefs. He's got to come out slinging. He can't afford to make bad throws. He's got to come out he's got to come out slinging. He's got to come out and do his thing.
Slang that wood.
That wood.
Nick, you got X factors?
Yeah, what do you think?
Y'all said mine.
Yeah.
I was going to say Bosa, but
I mean, sometimes you just keep it simple.
Right, but I don't think he's as much of an X factor because, I think you trust him a lot more, where, Purdy has had his struggles, early game at least, and he shows up when it matters, but, yeah.
No,
so, yeah.
This kid misses and fucking smacks something.
No, he said nah.
That'd go terribly.
So, yeah, Brock Purdy is my X factor.
Who do we got winning the big game? The Chiefs or the 49ers?
I'll go first. I learned my lesson last week. I am not betting against Patrick Mahomes as an underdog. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Also, do you guys want to just throw out a Super Bowl MVP? Guess just because?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be the Super Bowl MVP.
I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs as well. And I said Isaiah Pacheco was the X factor, and I'm going to go with Isaiah Pacheco winning Super Bowl MVP.
That'd be awesome if he won the MVP, bro.
That'd be sick.
Listen, man. It's the Kansas City Chiefs, and it is Patrick Mahomes who will be the Super Bowl MVP. Book it, stamp it, send it to your friend. That is the guy. He is the king.
It really is like the thought process really is like that simple. But if you want me to analyze a little further, like I said earlier, the 49ers have gotten off to rough starts against the Packers and the Lions, and the Kansas City Chiefs defense is significantly better than both of those teams. So you get off to, and if you get off to a rough start against their defense, their offense isn't gonna let up either. I mean, they only won against the Ravens by 7, but it still felt like they were in control for the whole game in some way.
That was the defense. Baby.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to get away with those mistakes against the Chiefs.
And
so I just trust
we have
them
a
more.
Niners fan in the chat,
We sure
Mr.
do.
But Swizz, we 10-1. That is some YouTube handle you have there, but listen, man,
It's tough, bro.
it's Patty Mahomes, brother.
Bro, he really just came into the chat to see all three of us pick the Chiefs
Yeah,
to
he
win
just
the
got
Super
it.
Bowl. That's
Bro,
so tough.
You know, honestly,
It'll be a good game.
I
It'll
went
be a
back
great
and forth
game,
on
yeah.
this all week. I really did because it is a great matchup. These two teams really do match up really well against each other. But look, I bet against Pat Mahomes twice, bro. I'm not getting fucking burned. I'm not getting fucking burned again. It ain't happening.
man.
It's not happening.
Smart
so.
man.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
Smart man. I'm proud of you guys.
Learn from our mistakes.
Character development.
Hell yeah.
That's good shit.
We're all about that
That's
shit.
good shit.